While the lightsaber is considered an elegant weapon for a more civilized age, Star Wars: The Old Republic offers a mind-boggling assortment of lightsabers for both Jedi and Sith players to choose from. There are plenty of simpler lightsabers in the game that better fit the ideals and traditions of the Old Republic Force users. In this video, we'll be going over the top 10 most unique, outrageous, and surprising lightsabers available in the game. A majority of these lightsabers will be from the Cartel Market, so if you're interested in saving up for one, check the GTN, the player-run marketplace, to see how many credits they'll cost you. While some are in an affordable range, many of these cost millions of credits. Number 10. The Descendant'S Heirloom Saber. While many of the lightsabers on this list will have much more interesting animated effects, this lightsaber wins for the most unique hilt design, as well as the most noticeable. This lightsaber design features a very elegant and ornate kind of web orb shape around the top of the hilt. And the name itself suggests that maybe this is something valuable, a treasure that has been passed down through the generations. If you're looking for something else that has an extremely beautiful hilt and is very fancy, I really like the Champion's lightsaber. This is actually my favorite lightsaber design in the entire game. It features a blue crystal at the bottom of the lightsaber. This is the Champion's lightsaber that you can usually get from the GTN as well. It drops from the Tier 3 Alliance crates. There's also a crafted version, but the crafted version cannot be modded. The Champion's lightsaber can. Number 9. The TYTHIAN lightsaber. Not to be confused with Tython, the TYTHIAN lightsaber is based on the operations boss Tyth from the Gods from the Machine operation. This lightsaber is very unique in that it has multiple different animated effects, including when it's holstered. There are two kind of green orbs that have an animated effect at the top of the hilt, or rather the bottom if you're holding them correctly. Once you draw the hilts, the sabers explode outwards very violently in a bright green color naturally, and it also has a kind of red-orange flame effect where the hilt meets the saber. The bottom of the hilt extends downwards in a spiraling animation. This is to mimic Tyth's weapon in-game. He actually wields a lightsaber pike. While I'm not sure if this is the longest lightsaber in the game, this is very likely the lightsaber with the longest hilt in the game. I also want to show off another cool green lightsaber. This one's the Outbreak Response lightsaber, and this is earned through the Rakghoul event and the Rakghoul reputation track. Most sabers in the game tend to be neutral colors or metallic colors, but this one is a bright, vibrant grass green. Don't forget, while you're watching, the saber colors are the saber's natural colors, what they look like if they don't have a color crystal inside of them. But once you get yourself a saber, you can insert any of the hundreds of different color crystals available in the game. Number 8. Satele Shan's lightsaber. Grandmaster Satele Shan is well known for her fighting skills when it comes to using her lightsaber. Hers actually splits into two separate parts, so she wields both a set of twin sabers as well as a saber staff. Both versions are available in-game and both have a really beautiful etched design on them. I think it's pretty safe to say that this is one of the most detailed lightsaber designs in the entire game. While we're talking about famous Old Republic characters' lightsabers, can I show you Darth Malgus's as well? His saber has its very distinctive, sharp blade-like piece at the top of the hilt that kind of resembles an axe head or a curved knife. There's also a very interesting version called the Darth Malgus lightsaber damaged version, and the damaged is in brackets if you look it up on the GTN. And in this version, the lightsaber has definitely seen better days. Those axe-like pieces have been shorn in half, and there's a lot of marks on the lightsaber itself. I'll show you one more famous lightsaber before we move on. This is SENYA TYRALL'S lightsaber, and she also actually uses a lightsaber pike. So while the single lightsaber version is not a pike itself, it does have that elongated hilt shape to mimic it. Number 7. The Unstable Lightsaber. There's a whole bunch of wonderful lightsabers in this category. An unstable lightsaber is simply a saber that is not functioning correctly. It's either overloading its power in some way, or simply is made to be more menacing. The first one I'm showing you is TULAK HORD'S lightsaber, and this is based on a character from Old Republic lore from the comics. Sticking to the more traditional colors, the unstable PEACEMAKER'S lightsaber has a very similar kind of crackling effect, and it also has an extra flare of light coming out from the bottom of the saber's hilt. The unstable ARBITER'S lightsaber is very similar but has a very different hilt design. I believe the unstable ARBITER'S lightsaber actually has a thinner blade. The next one has a really flashy effect. This is the overtuned Derelict lightsaber. This one's animation is most visible where the blade meets the hilt. It's a lens glare-like animation, kind of like a star or a flashing animation. And if that's not flashy enough for you, check out the Energized Conqueror's lightsaber. Not only is that lens glare extended a lot, so it's extremely visible when you have your lightsabers out, it also has a cool orange animated effect on the hilt. If that last one wasn't flashy enough for you, check out the Volatile Conqueror's lightsaber. This one has that animated lens glare-like effect where the blade meets the hilt, as well as an extremely visible, flashing, pulsing animation along the saber's blade. On top of that, the hilt itself has a purple animated effect. Number 6. The Lightning Lightsaber. With an entire class in the game dedicated to the use of Force Lightning, there is a ton of fantastic lightning animated lightsabers available as well. The first one I'm going to show you is the Twisted Fang lightsaber, and I really like both the blade design of this one. It's quite thin with the arcing lightning across it, as well as the hilt itself is kind of a curved shape I think would be really good for either a Sith warrior or a Sith Inquisitor. Next up is the ZIOST Guardian's lightsaber, and this is one of the first animated lightsabers in the game. It's got a very classic kind of lightning crackle along the blade itself. When some of these animated lightsabers came out, players were very excited because they were very unique in that there was only a small handful of animated lightsabers in the game, period. These days, there's a cosmetic item called a weapon tuning, and you can actually place these tunings into almost any lightsaber or weapon in the game. So if you really want, say, a lightning lightsaber, there's a lightning weapon tuning, and if you don't like the designs I just showed you, you can actually buy it and pop it into your own favorite lightsaber. Warning though, it may be as expensive or more expensive than the sabers I'm showing off today. Number 5. The Force Master's lightsaber. If lightning corresponds with the Sith Inquisitor, then this beautiful style of lightsaber definitely corresponds with the gentler, more light side oriented Jedi. The first one I'm showing you is the Tythonian Force Master's lightsaber. Once again, one of those very first animated effect lightsabers, and has a beautiful, soft, pulsing, glowing, kind of organic glow near the bottom of the blade where it meets the hilt. This saber actually has a very interesting hilt as well. It's kind of got a lot of exposed wiring on the bottom. Another version of this soft glowing lightsaber could be the Volatile Derelict lightsaber. It's got a more traditional hilt handle as well. Other than that, the actual animations seem to be exactly the same. Number 4. The Exposed lightsaber. I'm an absolute geek when it comes to crystals, both in-game as well as in real life, and when I found out there was a lightsaber that you could show off your own crystal in, I was so excited. So there's actually a couple different variations of these exposing lightsabers. My favorite is the RETRIBUTION'S exposed lightsaber, and this has your crystal kind of floating in the center of your hilt, more towards the top of the hilt, and it doesn't touch anything, it just floats in a kind of cylinder of air. This one especially reminds me of the scenes on TYTHIAN when you're first building your lightsaber. It's as if you just got halfway through and decided you want to have that lightsaber crystal showing. Another version is the Vengeance Unsealed lightsaber, and in this version, the lightsaber crystal is floating in a circular area at the bottom of the hilt instead. Next up is the Serenity's Unsealed lightsaber, and this one actually is located at the very bottom of the hilt. Most of the time you can't see the actual crystal, but it shows the glow of your crystal at the bottom of your saber. There's also the Reckoning's exposed lightsaber. It's very, very similar to the first one we saw, except it kind of has a guard along the side of where the crystal is floating. And last one, this is a bit hard to see, but a very interesting weapon. This is the Stronghold Defender's lightsaber, and although it doesn't look very interesting when it's held statically, when you draw your weapon, this lightsaber has a very unique animation. It untwists, shows your lightsaber crystal for a very short period of time, and then contracts and is ready for battle. Number 3, Tau's lightsaber. Oh, this lightsaber is so cool! I didn't realize how cool it was until I started researching for this video. So Tau's lightsaber has a fairly unique hilt in the game. It's nothing quite too special, but it has a very large hilt guard around your hand. The character it belongs to, Taudir, is an extremely combat-focused Jedi Knight. You'll also notice it's kind of oversized for my character. Taudir is quite tall and quite strong, and this lightsaber hilt was most likely designed to specifically fit her stature. What's really cool about this lightsaber though is the blades itself. The lightsaber blades are one of a kind because they gradient from one color to another. If you'll notice, the lightsaber is kind of a very light green or white on the top left, and it's a vibrant green at the bottom of the lightsaber. You'll notice this effect actually goes for any color of crystal that you put inside of the lightsaber. So right now I've got some more traditional crystals. I've got a purple crystal and I think a farmer's blue crystal in the background one, and for both of them you can see that gradient. Although this lightsaber probably wouldn't fit very well in canon lore. Well, would any of the ones we just went over go well? But I really think the gradient effect is very beautiful as it fades from one color to another. Number 2, the gray Helix lightsaber. I absolutely adore this lightsaber. This lightsaber is actually one of the few on the list that is not a Cartel Market item, and I'm so happy that I can rank it so high. This is actually earned through the Gree event, a cycling event that happens on Ilum, and you would earn it over time through the event itself and through the reputation track. This lightsaber has a kind of technographic animated effect on its blade. It looks very cool, technology related, alien tech, stuff like that comes to mind. And it also has a very nice aqua colored animation on the hilt itself. While we're talking about reputation items, I wanted to show you one more thing. This is the Eternal Champion's lightsaber, a lightsaber you can only earn through the Eternal Championship. While it's not as spectacular as some of the sabers on this list, it does have a very interesting, unique animated effect on the hilt. It's not the best video, but you can see it kind of pulse and glows both yellow and pink at the same time. And my number 1 coolest, most unique, most outrageous lightsaber in Star Wars The Old Republic is the Executioner's Maw. This lightsaber absolutely takes the cake for unique Star Wars design as well as very interesting animated effect and technical effects. This lightsaber has a lot going on, so the first part that you'll notice that is not really like any other lightsaber in the game is the large claw-like contraption at the top of the hilt. The claw itself actually has kind of mini vents that vent off very small amounts of energy from the lightsaber, and not only that, it's also venting off energy at the bottom of the hilt as well. The hilt itself is wrapped in dark leather, maybe to pay homage to a time when an executioner wouldn't be using an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. The part about this lightsaber I like the most though is the blade color. The developers have really taken advantage of the idea of multicolored crystals for this one. The Executioner's Maw's lightsaber color crystal is probably something like yellow, pink, blue, and you can see 3 distinct colors in the saber. While tri-colored crystals have been around for a while, this is the first saber I think that really takes advantage of them. Once you pick a color to pop into your lightsaber, you'll notice that on the left I've got a white red, on the right hand side I've got I think cyan blue, and those are pretty normal, but if you add in a tri-colored crystal, so I've got the white, purple, blue crystal that you can actually craft as a artifice crafter, and you can actually see all 3 of those colors very distinctly in the Executioner's Maw. You can see them in all lightsabers, but this one is probably the most clear in the entire game. By the way, this lightsaber is extremely noisy, whether it's drawn or put away. Before I let you go, I want to show you 2 more cool ones that are similar to the Executioner's Maw. The first is the Dark Honor Guard's Unstable Lightsaber, and this one maintains the kind of slanted vented shape on the side of the lightsaber hilt, just like the Maw, except this one is pure vented energy. And if you're looking for a more traditional vented lightsaber design, there's the Defiant vented lightsaber as well. So how'd I do? Did I miss out on any really cool lightsabers in the game? Let me know in the comments below. To show your support for this series, or to have similar Old Republic videos show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you.